Hello, everyone. We are back after a short break, and we hope so that you would have enjoyed the Affinity Diagram session, which was delivered by Mr. Khora. And in the meantime, our team has been receiving some of the queries over the audience, and we are doing this part two session in which we will quickly understand some of the dynamics related with the element of affinity diagram, and then we will shed a light how the application of this affinity diagram can also be useful in terms of the service sector. So, Mr. Khurram, firstly, I would like to thank you that you have taken a good amount of time in terms of delivering a value. And the first question in this regard is that how would you define, how would you integrate the element of affinity diagram either into the problem solving approach of DMAC methodology or the PDCA methodology? Like how the teams, whether they are using the DMAC methodology or the PDCA methodology, they can harness the maximum benefit out of affinity diagram.
Popper, I have explained earlier, this is a very simple tool.
Hmm.
So when we have a discussion or when we are doing a brainstorming session, so we can call it is related to plan. In
All right.
our PDCA cycle, the first section when we are talking about PDCA, that is plan.
Hmm.
So plan means that in affinity diagram we have to when we are doing a brainstorming session, all the stakeholders come up with the problem, come up with the challenges that they are facing. And the meantime, in the team also explain not only the specific problem but the possible solutions, the possible support, the possible outcomes that they need from other support function. They are also write down on the page, on the document, on a simple sticky notes.
All right.
So then you can say that then the team has been decide that these three actions that we have to go on to resolving this problem. So in the PDCA cycle we are also doing the same practice that we have plan first, then as per planning we have do some actions, then check whatever we are doing is either correct or either as per plan or either as per agreement, and then we can lock or we can control our action. So
All right.
simply in a activity diagram, all these things are repeating, and you can say that the beauty of this affinity diagram is that you can know the possible outcome if it was already implemented by someone. So they can suggest, they can speak, they can tell you that this practice, that this action already we have done sometime before, but due to some reasons or whatever the reason, this action is not viable for long term. So I would suggest that this action to be has done. So but this is more related, or you can say that more accurate, lead towards what action you have to do. So affinity diagram is the referring, and I would suggest that is more powerful tool than PDCA. Or you can say
All right.
that PDCA is, you can say, like a very generic term or very
Hmm.
generic tool that we are using. But affinity diagram is a very specific and very strong tool that everyone can use for its problem solving,
Sounds good.
for its brainstorming channel,
Hmm.
whatever. It is not specifically used for, you can see that, problem solving. It is also used for, you can set a KPIs, you can set a customer support function, you can set a some favorable addition in your product. You can do this affinity diagram.
Brilliant, brilliant. And because this was the second question in which our one of the participant has asked that it is now clear that the affinity diagram can be of great importance in terms of the, let's say, identification of the causes, right, which the management is encountering on hand. Can it also be used in terms of the identification of the key performance indicators for any particular organization? Whether we are talking about any micro process or we are talking about the overall end to end value chain of the organization. What are your comments on that?
Can you again specify this question again, please?
Sure, sure. So basically, the question is that by now it is clear that affinity diagram can be of great importance in terms of the, let's say, causes identification of the problem which we are dealing with, right? Can it also be used in terms of the critical key performance indicators identification for any specific process or throughout the value chain of the business?
Yes, of course. I have explained in my last slide that, and
Mm.
specifically, I have used to explain the affinity diagram for making the KPIs. And
Brilliant.
moreover, that it is not you can specify for KPIs, but you can make it possible or use it for your objective. And moreover, I can tell you that you can also use for making this your vision, mission, all the, you can say that whatever your target, whatever your future goals, you can use this affinity diagram, because a single goal, a single objective cannot be achievable without a teamwork. So if
Hmm.
for example, a very simple target that I have make a target for 2023 or 2024, that we
Hmm.
have to achieve 2 billion sale for next year in term with respect to last year sale. So the team, from manufacturing side, from operation side, from sale team, from HR perspective, all the support functions sit together and make the action plan, make the concrete roadmap to make this number possible. So everyone should be committable and everyone should be committed that what we are doing here is the action points. So this can be workable. So this is not,
Brilliant.
you can say that for KPIs, but it is equally possible, and you can say that workable for your objective, for your target, for your next year goals. So it's very specific.
All right, all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. And and also, I would like to extend this point as Mr. Khurram has beautifully shedded a light on this specific element, that how it can be useful in terms of the, let's say, KPIs and identification as well. In one of our consulting assignment with the construction industry in Canada, we what we encountered was that although the management was very much inclined and prone towards the idea of incorporating the essence of affinity diagrams within their brainstorming session, what they did in addition to those particular element was they added the quantification metrics, you can say, beside of the affinity diagram. So whatever the potential, you can say, ideas were propagating or suggesting by the concerned team members, they had to go through one funnel of the quantification, that what tangible benefits that organization can harness at the end of the day, after, let's say, the execution of these XYZ number of projects, or by eliminating these XYZ number of causes. And the portfolio, which used to get a great amount of tangible benefit at the end of the day, were used to be used as a benchmark in terms of the execution of the project. So indeed, I believe, in a summary, that affinity diagram could be of great and humongous importance for not only for the manufacturing sector, but also for the service sector as well. So if you are working either in the education sector, in the insurance company, in the BPO, in the hospitality, in the hospitals, what you need to do is to understand that these tools are very much generic in nature, and as much as value they are bound to deliver to the manufacturing organization, you can also harness a maximum value out of them if you are working into the service environment. And also, lastly, I would like to take a couple of minutes, Mr. Huram, and I would like to ask one last question: is that for the upcoming aspirants, for example, we have talked a lot about those who are working in the organizations right now, and they can get a maximum benefit out of it. But what about those students who are doing a sort of, you can say, projects or internships within the companies, and how, let's say, they can convince the concerned colleagues or the top management of the concerned organization in which they are doing any kind of particular work, in which they do not have any authority. So how can any like prospective or aspiring industrial professional can advocate the necessity of incorporating the affinity diagram for any organization which is working on the traditional aspect? So please also shed a light on it.
Uh, can you please more one line specific for this question, please?
Yes. So basically, the question is that we have talked a lot about those manufacturing personnel who are working in any kind of either manufacturing environment or the service environment. But what about those, let's say, aspiring professional or the students who are the future leaders, or you can say future managers of the organization? If they are working in any, let's say, organization for their internships, for some semester projects, then how can they advocate the benefits of using this affinity diagram for that particular organization if they are not very much inclined to get their suggestions for the project?
Yes, for example, we can take the real-time example of that most of the companies are leading the project
Mhm.
of MTO's program, or you can see that
Yes,
management
yes.
program.
Mhm.
Different, we are seeing different companies like Unilever Pakistan, House of Habib. So every company is interloop. These companies are every year leading the management program, and in
Mhm.
this program, what they are saying that they hire some resourceful candidates from different universities, from UET, from NED, from GIK. And what when you can have a very good question that these are specifically, you can say that when they are on board these skilled or you can say that these talented resources,
Mhm.
they depute these different resources to different department. Actually they are giving the overview, and
Mhm.
they are, then they are, you can say that giving the feedback from that, like someone working 2 or 3 weeks 4 week internship in supply chain department, then this team will be work on product development department. That
Mhm.
same group then work in engineering department. So actually this is the 3 to 6 month program, and this group of people working in different departments. And after working in multiple departments, they are giving the input, they are giving the insights, they are giving some useful tips. By getting these, you can say that tips, their feedback, their ideas, the management has been decided that the resource has been focused, or you can say
Mhm.
that better utilized in engineering department or in production operation department. So this whole exercise, this whole practice, you can say that somewhat linked to the affinity diagram. That for example, you can write manufacturing, you have some sticky notes, you have write some manufacturing, whatever ideas, whatever
Mhm.
insights, whatever benefits, whatever you can say that interest, you list down all. In supply chain function, whatever you have learned, whatever your feedback, what is your insight, what is your advantage, you have right. So every function you have right their same you can say that information, same knowledge that you have get, you can write.
Mhm.
So you can know more about that which function is very useful for you, or you can say that your interest, or you can say that you are more focused in, for example, in engineering department, because you have more get insight from engineering department, you have very good ideas for working in engineering department, you have to sufficient knowledge that you can do some more or amazing work for engineering department. So this is amazingly correlate to the, you can say that affinity diagram as well.
Brilliant, brilliant. So yes, indeed, I believe so. Not only any professional can practice it at the corporate level, but our students can also get a maximum value out of it because they are the future managers and they can align their interests as per their own core expertise and the need of the organization. So I believe it was a great value-added session, Khurram. Thank you very much for your time. And it has been a second session. In the first session, as we discussed the A3 reporting, in the second one, we discussed the fundamentals of affinity diagram. And in the next session, we will be discussing the element of the necessity of arrow diagram and how any organization can use the essence of arrow diagram within their projects in terms of mapping out all the activities and then finding the best potential way forward with respect to the critical path method and all the fundamentals. So we believe that these learning nuggets would be of importance to all of the concerned, to our local as well as global audience. And if you have any query, then feel free to let us know via email, via WhatsApp. Our team is working around the clock to serve your need, as we are dealing in the diversified medium of Lean Six Sigma, ISO, NEBOSH, data analysis, and all the propositions. So we will see you all in the next session. Thank you so much, Mr. Kuram. Any last words if you would like to say?
Thank you, Babar. I just want to say that this is everyone. I would like to say that just join, or you can say that listen these very specific and very short. You can say that series, and
Indeed.
you don't need to read more about from books, more about from different sources. Just this short video, you have to know more about affinity diagram. In the previous session, we have discussed about A3 reporting. So if you
Indeed.
listen these short videos, you have to know more about these lean tools. And practically, you we have the beauty of these our session is that we are practically studying the practical case study, not only
Exactly.
theory. We are very limited for theory, but very, you can say, it expandable for practical case studies.
Mhm.
Just in this, we have discussed 4 to 5 practical case studies, so everyone can better understand about when they are explain, or you can say that understand about specific case study, so everyone
Indeed.
can learn more about from case studies.
Thank you very much, Kuram. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We will see you in the next session of Aero Diagram. So stay
Thank you.
tuned because we will be coming up with a more value nugget. Thank you.